What is it that I don't know? And Michelle, you probably teach this as well. The knowledge pie of, there's a small, if you look at one big piece of pie, there's one small sliver of things that we know. And then there's another small sliver of the things that we know that we don't know yet, but we're on that path of getting to know whatever that information is. But the biggest piece of the pie is the things that we don't know.
Is being authentic and kind of getting rid of those childhood you have to's or adult you have to's out of the picture and being able to be a better leader? Or what are some of the aspects to it?
You mean the BS? I call them belief systems. They're belief systems. And yes, some of those belief systems, they support you. You might have gone through something in your childhood that you're like, yeah, it's awesome. That formed me into who I am. And that also takes a safe space and environment that will allow that to flourish. Mm-hmm. And, I don't know about you, Michelle, but I'm also a parent to two daughters, and they're 17 and 20 now. And
you made it.
Well,
congratulations.
my sister likes to say, my sister's 10 years older than me. She is known for saying small children, small problems, big children, big problems. But that comes with a but, because I got two great kids. And I'm telling this story to say, although I have a social pedagogy and education science degree, I screwed up in education. I screwed up with my kids raising them. And I have this conversation with them, and I've asked for forgiveness. I'm like, I did not mean to do X, Y, Z, but I didn't know better at the time. Like in my TED Talk, Michelle, I talk about how I lost while building very successful businesses when my children were little. I sacrificed a lot of time with my kids growing up. That hurts me. I think that hurts me more today than it hurt me back then, because I was so in it, just kind of, getting at it and doing all the things. And again, I'm forgiving myself for that, to really enjoy the time that I have with them now that they're, almost grown.
So what changed in your behavior about was it the interviewing process? Was it the onboarding? Was it the extended communication? What really changed afterwards that helped you to kind of maintain the good people?
What changed with me is that I realized that not everyone is like me. That I realized that people communicate different, and people store information differently. People value different things. What a concept, right?
But why?
They don't all value the same things that I value. But that just shows you, Michelle, of how self-absorbed I was. And I think that's a lot of people that are really successful find themselves into being self-absorbed. And then they lose that connection to the other. So when I learned that there are different value types, when I learned that there are people that appreciate different things, some people appreciate fun and freedom and planning like I do. And then there are people that really appreciate knowledge and information more than I do. Or there are people that are really all about, making it warm and fuzzy and caring. You need all of those. And when subconsciously we somewhat know that, but when I really brought it into my awareness, and I was really able to, because I was good at onboarding, I was good at being enthusiastic and painting the picture what the future is going to look like. But when I fine-tuned my listening to others, when I fine-tuned my communication to the other person's specific values, to the other person's specific system of how they're storing and keeping information and communicating in information, that's when it all shifted. One of the laws that I teach is there's no failure, only feedback.
Exactly.
And when we can accept it as feedback, then we actually learn from it. But when we just say, oh, that was a failure, then we kind of dismiss it and not learn from it.
Right. Nice. So in your business now, what would you say is your favorite part of your business?
Marketing.
Really? Tell tales.
Yeah. I love, well, I have a marketing degree. I love marketing. I love being out there and meeting people. And that's, you know, that's the goal of, or well, it should be the goal of every growing business, because that's where it starts. It starts with relationships. Who do you who do you have a relationship with? And the way that you show up speaks much louder than any words. And I'll tell you how. My husband and I went to an ongoing education. We pour into ourselves knowledge-wise and with education on a regular basis. So we flew to Dallas a few weeks ago, and during the session, there was a big line at Starbucks in the hotel. So we're like, we're not doing that. We're going to be in the room early. We got us a really nice seat. And during the session, when they did some questions and answers, I snuck out to get us some coffee. And I'm standing in line at Starbucks. There was only 3 people, the person in front of me, and the person behind me. And this person behind me walks into the Starbucks and is like, all cheery. Hey, good morning, everyone. And I'm like, hey, good morning. He's like a kindred spirit. And we got to talking, and I only knew his name, Joseph. And I liked the way he appeared, very, outgoing, very friendly. And I bought his coffee. I'm like, I didn't ask for permission. I just kind of did it. And I said, hey, Joseph, this coffee's on me. And he's like, that's so kind. So we walked out together. Turns out he has several conferences. And because of the quick relationship that we built, we're now doing business together. I'm booked for all of his conferences, and we're going to do more of the trainings together. That's how easy it can be.